Why go on, people? What you saying? It is I. Diligent thing is, it's weird saying that intro. It's weird saying that intro. Something that I picked up from starting wanting to start being a gamer YouTuber and stuff. Like it's a good idea to have an intro, something that defines you and stuff like that. And I really thought about it and try to incorporate all the things that sort of represent me, like my love of language, like rapping and stuff like that, the different ways, the different things that represent me. Wagwan being Jamaican, what you're saying being a Manc thing, it is I being sort of almost Shakespearean. Do you know what I mean? And that's how we've got to the intro that you hear me on my podcasts, my radio shows, my videos and stuff like that. I love that intro because I feel like it's a true representation of me in some sense. Do you know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because probably in another video, I've mentioned this in another video, that I've been grappling with identity. I've been grappling with who I am, what I represent, and all that kind of good stuff. And the reason why I'm making this video today is that I realized that I already know who I am. I already know what I represent. I know who I am as a person. But what the problem always is, and everyone that has this problem, everyone goes through this. Everybody goes through this. It's not like I'm unique in this at all. But I feel like I'm at the point where I'm realizing how much of me, or how much of how I carry myself is influenced by other people rather than being influenced by how I truly feel about me, my life, and the things that are going on around me. And the reason why I say this is because a few weeks ago, I went through a situation that really shook me. It really shook me. I went through a situation where basically somebody took it upon themselves, took an opportunity under the guise of being someone that I know, under the guise of being a friend, chose to try and take my life and create a narrative and manipulate everything that I'd done in my life, all the things that I was doing, all the positive things that I'd done, and try to manipulate it into basically what he was doing. Being a troll, being a gaslighter, being a manipulator, and using this situation as a way to get some sort of sick gratification for himself. And I stood up to him. I stood up to him, calm, collected. I stuck to the truth. I stuck to the facts. But because of how the internet can be, where basically the lie is more interesting than the truth, and that it shook me, it jolted me, and it made me question a lot about myself. Now, I'm at the point where, you know what, I'm fucking sick and tired of doing it. I'm fucking sick and tired of letting other people make me question myself and what I believe is right and wrong. And what I believe is positive and negative. I deleted videos as a result of this situation. Videos that were good videos that, not that I didn't delete them because I didn't believe in what I was saying in those videos. It was a moment of panic. It was a moment where I felt like I wasn't in control anymore, and I was grappling to get control because someone had questioned my character to the point where it completely altered my viewpoint on and my outlook on everything around me. It made me question who I could trust. It made me question what I put out there to the world, what I choose to put out there. Is it good? Is it a good idea that I have put certain things out there into the world? And you know what? I'm at a point where The only regrets that I have is that I allowed myself to let people influence me to do things that I don't want to do. This has been happening my whole life. This has been happening my whole life. And it's been happening to a lot of people as well. The more I talk to people, the more I go on platforms like Clubhouse, where you just hear everyday people talk about the things that we're going through. The more I find myself in these groups, and the more I take time to listen, the more I find that there's loads of people out there like me. There's loads of people out there like me that are finding it hard to find a place in this world, in this society, when everything that they see in society they do not agree with. Yet it's almost as if you have to follow what everybody else is doing to be able to get anywhere. Or you have to follow other people's expectations to be able to feel as if you're progressing in some sort of way. I'll break down these reasons why. First off, I'll make it super personal. Super personal. Yeah. Because of the things that I've experienced in my life and the people that I've seen people experience around me in my life, it's no secret that, I came from an abusive situation in terms of how I was conceived. I came from a broken home. I've seen domestic violence. I've seen abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse happen to people that I love and people that are closest to me. And that has shaped me as a person. When it comes to me as a man, it has shaped me in a way where I recognize the privilege that I have as a man. I recognize how toxic society is set up for men to be able to get away with things that really and truly are just wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, when the term sex sells, yeah, it does, because things are being set up in a sexual way to attract the predominant species, the predominant sex, which is men. Like, it's ridiculous when people find when I find that men try and fight this notion. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous when I hear men sort of go against this whole notion that things have been majority things have been, the majority of things have been set up for men. They have. I'm sorry, they have. If you don't believe it, if you want to talk about, do you know what I mean, how things were back in the day compared to how things are now, and how you wish things were the way they were back in the day. Mate, like, you're living in the past, you're living in denial. Things have to change. Things have to change. And this is the thing, this is a principle that I have lived by my whole life. Things have to change. The things that I'm seeing around me, I want them to change. Okay, how can I get them to change? I can't force people to change. So I have to be the change that I want to see. So as a result of the things that I have learned, as a result of the abuse that I have seen the women in my family go through as a man, I try not to be anything like the men that have been causing this abuse. But the problem is, there's too many men in my environment, or at least they were in my environment growing up, that were being basically appeased to be abusive. Growing up, I would hear about, my mum and my stepdad were going through a divorce and it got violent. I'm a 10, 11-year-old kid at the time. I'm not understanding why, my dad is hitting my mum and things are getting, to this point all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? And I'm looking out at my uncles, you know, my adopted uncles, the men that are friends with my mum, and this, that, and the other. And, you know, I'm looking at them and you know, they're not really doing anything. They're not doing anything. It's like nothing is being done. Nothing is being done. The men in my environment are not protecting the women. And then the more I speak to women in my environment, in the places where I grew up, in the places where I live, I would find that a lot of women would be going through the same things that I would see my mum going through. And now I grow a bit older, and then I realise my sisters have gone through the same things that my mum have gone through. I grow older and I start speaking to my grandmas, my aunties, and I realise that they've gone through the same things that my mum and many women in my family have gone through. Physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse. And we see this regularly. We see this often. Do you know what I mean? This is not a rare thing. It's a common thing, but it's not spoken about enough, or at least the truth about these situations is not spoken about enough. I find myself at a point where it's like, right, I'm starting to realise things that are conflicting with the things that I have been taught. I'm starting to realise things that are conflicting with the beliefs that I have. You know, no man should be cheating. I'm not gonna go on like I'm an angel. I used to cheat when I was younger, very young, 16, like in my teenage years, going through high school and stuff like that. Yeah, I cheated. I realised I was cute. I didn't realise the emotional toll that I was taking on women at the time, but that was the first indication of, right, okay, so this is when I got cheated on. That was the first indication of, right, oh, okay, so that's what that is. That's what that heartbreak is, that break of trust. That's what that is. Okay, cool. I never want to go through that again, and I don't want to do that to the person that I'm with, the people that I'm with, the women that I'm with. Do you know what I mean? The relationships that I get into, isn't there? But the problem has always persisted. I seem to be, do you know what I mean, one of the minority. Yeah, I mean, I would speak to the men around me, do you know what I mean? Oh, cheated on my gal. You shouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, she's going on paranoid. Well, what do you expect? You cheated on her. Like, do you know what I mean? Oh, Dilly, like, I can't talk to you, man. Why? Because I'm telling the truth. Why? Because I'm on the side of the woman rather than just being on your side because you decided to do something stupid that was going to cause more problems than just that quick night of passion that you wanted. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is going to affect everything going forward, especially if your partner finds out. And then you want things to go back to the way they were when you didn't get caught and you can just get away with what you get away with. But your woman's onto you now and she's not going to stop being onto you because she doesn't trust you and you've got to earn that trust back. But rather than actually earning that trust back, you would rather make things even more complicated. You would rather make her the bitch and blame her, even though you're the one who fucked up in the first place. Or even when you have fucked up, you want to blame stupid shit like, oh, you didn't have sex with me enough, or you spend too much time with your girls and rare to stupid shit, stupid shit, stupid shit, stupid shit, basically, stupid shit. And then when it gets to the point where women are more like, you know what, I'm sick and tired of this shit. I'm gonna go on just as bad as you. Well, it's not the same. Women can't do the same thing as men. The double standards start coming in. And then when those double standards are flipped back on men, we want to complain that women are using double standards, even though we've been using double standards for way before social media and, do you know what I mean, this, that, and the other came in. It seems like I'm going on a tangent, but this is what I'm talking about in terms of conflicting with my identity. Now, I could be like all of my other friends, or all of like the other men that I see around me, do you know what I mean? And just be like, oh, fuck it, do you know what I mean? All the other men are doing it, fuck it, yeah, I'll just cheat on gal. I'll do this, I'll do that. I'll go through all of this drama and stress, have unprotected sex, bring kids into the world that I'm not in a position to look after, and I've not created a stable environment for them to be able to grow up in and flourish. I'm 40 years old with no kids. In my environment, that's a rare thing. In my environment. And I'm being very specific and being very careful to say in my environment. In the environment that I grew up in the environment that I learned all of this shit in, the environment that shaped me as a person. And recognizing that I had to get out of certain environments to be able to realize these things. So I get out of these environments, I go forth, I learn, I progress. Do you know what I mean? And progression in terms of progression for me, not compared to anybody else. Do you know what I mean? Even though there's assumptions that come with that anyway. Do you know what I mean? I get a job, I start earning money. Do you know what I mean? I start looking more into education and things like that. I start taking my music more seriously and learning how to make better music. Do you know what I mean? Trying to make better music. I focus more on things that are positive rather than focusing on the negative. I used to sell drugs, I used to sell weed, I used to rob people when I was a kid. All that kind of shit. I realised that if I keep doing these things, I could end up in jail, or I could end up in a situation where I could get hurt. And it could cause my mum more stress, my family more stress. I could cost them more money as a result of me being in these situations. I've only been close to that once. And that was because of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Do you know what I mean? Like I was living above a pub. The pub got raided because like another pub landlord trying to grass up the landlord of the pub that I was living in. Police turned up. I've got people with like machine guns in my, like policemen, SWAT team, machine guns in my face, handcuffed, brought downstairs, accused of having cocaine, this, that, and the other on the premises. Didn't have any of that on the premises, but I did have a computer that had cracked music software on there, Cubase and Reason. And there was another guy who was living in the building who was selling pirated DVDs and CDs and albums and stuff like that. So we got brought into the same thing, and I got done for copyright infringement. Do you know what I mean? Copyright infringement. I got a suspended sentence. The judge said to me, "You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I never want to see you in this courtroom again." And he hasn't seen me since. They have not seen me since. But I get told, I get told that I'm working for the man and this, that, and the other, and I'm playing into the system and and I think I'm too good for my old hood, the people that I grew up with. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm educated and I can articulate myself. I'm being told that I sound white and this, that, all these things. And I know there's other black people that have experienced this shit as well. I thought I was on my own. For a long time, I thought I was on my own. Until I started talking more about it, until I removed myself from being around these people and started to find people that thought like me. I thought I was on my own. But there's a conflict. There's a conflict because I've got to go back. I've got to go back to my family. I've got to go back to my old friends. Do you know what I mean? That like there's a conflict, and the more I find myself in that conflict, the more that I want to push away, and the more I push away and find myself alone, the more I start to question the choices that I've made because I'm alone. I'm on my own, and no one likes being on their own. But no one likes being anywhere where they're not appreciated either. You go to where you're appreciated. That's one of the many things that I've learned. You go to where you're appreciated. So I am now where I'm appreciated. I'm on my own, but I am now where I'm appreciated. But like I said, because you don't want to be on your own, and because you end up on your own, you start questioning your choices because you miss things. You miss being around people. You miss the good times that you had rather than all of the drama. But it's the drama that makes you stay away. It's the constant questioning of yourself because you don't want to follow the trend. You don't want to follow the status quo that makes you end up staying away. And then you start to question yourself as a result of being on your own. I've been doing a lot of that. I've been doing a lot of that over the last few years, especially like starting to understand my own mental health more. What's making my brain tick? What's making me become emotional? What's making me become impulsive? You know, what's contributing to the post-traumatic stress? What's contributing to the depression? And how do I get around that? How do I remap my brain, so to speak, rewire my brain so I'm not letting these things affect me? And I have to, the best way I can do that is being true to myself. But then when you come into the world of social media, where narratives can be easily manipulated and the lie is more entertaining than the truth, that's a whole new ball game of trying to find your own identity. Trying to find your own identity whilst on social media. Oh my days. Oh my days, mate. And I feel sorry for the kids. I feel sorry for the generation of kids that have had to grow up grow up with social media just being there. I'm fortunate to have grown up in a time where social media wasn't there, so I can disconnect from myself in a way. But then I have to recognize that because of social media, because of the internet, I have opportunities to be able to speak on things that are not normally spoken about. So there's a balancing act there. For the longest time, I was doing videos talking about my mental health, talking about situations that I have been through, that have shaped me as a person, things that have contributed to my depression, things that have contributed to the mental health problems that I've had. I've talked about these things in a hope that anybody else who's going through something similar will be able to see that they're not on their own. And if there's anything that I learned that helped me to get out of situations or to turn things around, or, you know, to help me feel better about myself, then if I make these videos and pass them on, hopefully they can help other people as well. And someone on social media brought me to the point of questioning all of that, all of it. Am I doing it just for attention? Am I making a spectacle of myself? And am I putting too much of myself out there, even though I'm being very, very, very aware of what it is that I do share and what I don't share? Someone made me question all of that, only because they put me in a situation where I felt like I had lost control. That's a very, very important thing. It's a very, very important point to make there. I felt like I had lost control. I went through a period feeling like I was in complete control, and then something changed, and I felt like I'd lost control. And what it was that changed was he created the narrative that I was some sort of benefit fraud. And that he brought me to the point where I let out that I am in supported housing. I am in the place that is set up to support people with mental health issues. Nothing I should be ashamed of. I'm in the right place. I'm getting the right help. I'm in the right place. I have mental health issues. I've been put in a place that is there to help me and support me with my mental health issues. But also I make music and I'm in a music scene. Now, to anybody who isn't in the music scene, who isn't in the music industry, do you know what I mean? And this is a common thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you think of musician, you think of your favourite pop star. And then you think of the lifestyle that your favourite pop star has. And that worried me, that people that don't know would assume that I'm living some sort of extravagant life, yet I'm claiming benefits, even though that's further than the truth. And it scared me because jealous people have tried to do that to me before. Obviously, nothing happened. Obviously, nothing happened. I didn't get arrested or anything like that. But just the stress, the anxiety, and the fear that I went through, the confusion. Do you know what I mean? Because the first time someone tried to like say that I was committing benefit fraud, I was at the lowest point of my life. I was at a point where I was just about to try and commit suicide. And this woman is reading out all my Instagram numbers, my Facebook numbers, do you know what I mean? My Twitter numbers, do you know what I mean? They're telling me my girlfriend's name. They're saying that I'm earning this much money from every booking, and that I'm there. I'll be the real. I'm being, like I said, I'm gonna be super personal. I'm there, sat in this room, looking at this woman, stinking because of my depression. I hadn't washed for like 2 weeks or stuff like that. I'd gone in there thinking it was just gonna be a quick review, in and out, go back home, and just be in this black hole of trying to figure out why I'm having these periods of psychosis and why I'm having these flashbacks and nightmares and stuff like that. And this woman is saying to me that I'm earning 200 to 300 quid per booking, and I'm getting 3 bookings a weekend. Yeah, I can sit there and I can smell myself. I can smell myself, and I'm looking at this woman like, this could not be so further than the truth than it is now. I even saying to her, if I was really getting that much money, do you think I would waste my time being in this condescending environment where everyone who is claiming benefits is seen as a benefit scrounger anyway? If I was earning that much money, do you think I would want to waste my time with condescending, presumptuous people like you? And the look I got back said it all. It said it all. Yeah, I pissed you off, woman, because you pissed me off. And you're accusing me of things that I am not doing at the worst possible time that you can accuse me of. Like I said, a few weeks later, I tried to kill myself. And then as a result of that, I got put with the right team, I got put with the right people, and they placed me here. In the last 3 to 4 years, I've been on a journey of recovery. I've been on a very good journey of recovery. And someone tried to flip all of that around to make me seem like I'm having a manic depressive episode, and then to make me seem as if I am faking everything that I am going through. Because I can articulate myself, because I can explain what I understand that is going on in my brain. This is the other misconception. Mental health, people think of bipolar, schizophrenia. People think of people that are just monged out, so hooked up on medication that their words are slurred. Do you know what I mean? That they can't support themselves in any way, shape, or form. They need to be in places like this to have other people support them. So when you come across somebody like me, who is experiencing things later in their life, PTSD later in their life, but has always dealt with depression. I'm nearly 40, I'm going to be 40 this year. And the last 10 years, 2008, 2008 was when the incident happened. So the last 12 years, this is what I've been dealing with, trying to figure out why I'm having flashbacks, why I'm having psychotic episodes, why am I seeing people that should be dead in the street, why am I hearing those voices, why am I hearing their voices? It's PTSD, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. These are the things that rape victims go through, that violent crime victims go through, flashbacks, moments of psychosis, seeing your abuser and things like that. These are things that war veterans go through. These are things that car crash victims go through. These are things that torture victims go through. This is the stuff that, you know, people that were in the Manchester arena when the bomb went off. These are the things that they're experiencing. Loud bangs, that's going to set them off. These are the things that people that were in the area when 9/11 happened. These are the things that they're going through. Remembering those buildings coming down. Remembering those people jumping out of those windows, trying to save themselves and falling to their deaths. If you were there on the ground and you saw those people jumping, these are the things that you are remembering. This is post-traumatic stress disorder. But because I can articulate this to the everyday person, they think, oh, he must be faking it. He doesn't seem all monged out and, my name's Diligent Fingers and... I say all of this to say that I'm done questioning myself. I am done questioning myself. I'm done second guessing everything that I do because of what other people may think, because of what it may look like to other people. Because I realize when I don't do that, and I stand by my truth, I stand by what I believe, I get further. I feel better. I progress. Because I know I'm being true to myself. I'm sorry, there was a noise going on. Because I know I am being true to myself. I know I'm being real with myself, and as a result, I'm being real with the people around me. And being true to yourself, you can find yourself alone. Sometimes your truth could end up highlighting somebody else, the faults of somebody else, and they don't like that. Like I said before, like I was saying to you before, do you know what I mean? Like I growing up, I was surrounded by men that were happy to follow the status quo of it being okay to just abuse women, to just cheat on women, to just call them bitches, call them slags, all of this shit. It was okay, and if I would question that, if I would be on the side of the women, like you see even now, if you're on the side of women, then you're a simp, you're a doormat, you're a beta male. All this fucking bullshit. All this fucking bullshit, babe. Apparently, I'm a beta male just because I support women. Apparently, I'm a beta male. I'm less of a man, or I'm not a manly man, because I can understand the plight of women. Mad. Okay, cool. Okay. Or is it more the fact that I'm highlighting where you are fucking up? I'm highlighting why women are at the point of feeling the way that they do now. And I'm not talking about so this is another thing as well. I'm not talking about on social media. I'm going to bring up another point. I'm not talking about on social media. I'm talking about the women that I talk to around me. The women that I talk to around me. Nothing to do with fucking social media. But let's get onto social media. I was in a clubhouse room last night. The name of the clubhouse room was, if the majority of black men respect black women, where are y'all at? I'm listening. And the common thing that would come up is, well, black women on social media are saying that they don't need black men and I make it in even more general sense. Women at the moment are saying that they don't need men. To the point where men are coming out and being like, okay then women, if you want this, then why this, Kevin Samuels. There's a name that you might know that's like blowing up on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? And in terms of on the women's side, just like the body positivity movement, feminist movement. I'm not saying these things in a bad way or anything like that. I'm talking about the cause and effect. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the cause and the effect of what's going on. So because women are out there now at the point where, you know, we don't need you men, or they're saying that we don't need you men. Men are now coming out and saying, well, fuck it, we don't need you too, bitch. And it's like, well, men have been saying that for fucking time anyway. Men have been going on like women are dispensable anyway for time. For fucking decades. For fucking decades. And then because a woman's saying it to you back. Because in terms of respect, these are the things that are being brought up. These are the things. I'm in this room and I'm hearing women talk about abuse. Talk about feeling that no one is there to protect them. Talking about, do you know what I mean? Feeling as though men are, do you know what I mean, placated, appeased to carry on their abuse, carry on their lack of respect for women. And the first thing that men choose to bring up is, well, on social media, you say this. Well, on social media, you say that. This has been going on way before fucking Facebook and MySpace and all that shit came up. Rappers have been saying in their songs, women ain't shit but hoes and tricks, way before there was a fucking social media. But let's talk about social fucking media then, yeah? Let's talk about social media, yeah? Let's talk about these false narratives that are being placed on social media, okay? So, and I'm going to talk to specifically black people here. I'm going to talk specifically to my black people here, my British black people. Why is it that only because it makes money, we want to prop up the worst side of ourselves on social media and then be happy to take that underbelly side of our community, the negative side of our community? Why is it that we want to then prop that up as if that is our identity? I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. There's a show on YouTube at the moment that has been catching a lot of attention called Blue Therapy. And it is about black couples that go to therapy, but on camera. They talk about their relationship problems and this, that, and the fucking other. Do you know what I mean? And first off, I'll say it's all bullshit. It's all fake. The therapist is an actor. She's not a true actor. Do you know, she's not a true therapist, sorry. She has no qualifications in any kind of therapy or anything. You search her name, Denise, whatever her fucking name is, and you will see that it's an actor. The information is fully there. It's fully there for people. And that the couples that are on this show, they're not real couples. They're not real couples at all. They're claiming that they've been together for 3 years, a year, this, that, and the other. But we go on their social media profiles and there's nothing showing that they're together in any way, shape, or form. Whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all fake. It's all fake. It's all fake. But people, and especially the black community, do you know what I mean, are eating this shit up. Eating it up. Both the couples that are on there, Chroma and whatever, and it like both the couples are on there. The episode starts, and the first thing that they talk about in terms of the problems that they are having revolve around money. It all revolves like, I've watched one episode and a half of another episode, and I just got pissed off. I ended up doing a video talking about parts of it, and then I realised that it's all fake, and I ended up deleting that video because I just felt stupid. I just felt completely stupid. But it's all fake, and the main crux of the problems with this relationship is monetary. It's not real. It's not real. None of it's real. None of it's real. Or he spends too much time at work. He focused more on the money than he is on giving me love. Like, and then I like, it's sad because that could be a real thing. That could be like a real situation that women find themselves in. The man's too focused on work. They're not getting enough love at home. I've heard about these things in real situations. What makes it worse is then the males in these relationships end up playing, well, in this one relationship, ended up playing up and just being so narcissistic and shit. Like, it was almost as if, like, are you real? Like, is this guy real? Like, and then when it came to each other's problems, none of them are recognizing anything that but it's all fake. It's all fake. The other relationship, the woman, like, I get my own shit, but as a man, you have to buy me this, take me to this restaurant, or what, you're saving for your house? Or is that the excuse that you're using now? This is the attitude that's coming from the woman. And the guy is just flabbergasted, like, are you for real right now? Do you even save? Like, but it's all fake. It's all caricatures. It's all like, none of this is real. But this is the side that's going to be propped up now. This is the side that's going to be propped up, and this is the thing that people are going to be using as references to then go forth into their normal lives. We're watching all these people that are presenting themselves as high flyers, six-figure people, like Kevin Samuels included as well. He's apparently a six-figure man, and he earns all this money, and he's talking to women that want to get guys like him, and he's letting them know, well, if you want this kind of guy, you've got to be this way. And there's a big pushback because but like, even crypto, NFTs, we're listening to all these people that are basically in the 1%. And then we're supposed to go out and have an outlook on our lives as working class people, middle class people, as if what they're talking about is really gonna fucking work in our real world. This is the problem that I have. This is the problem that I have with social media at the moment. This is the problem that I have where real shit, real positive stuff, doesn't get a fucking look in because everybody is more entertained by drama. Everybody is more entertained by sensationalism. I'm reading the comments to these fucking blue therapy videos, and people are like, I don't care if this is all fake. It's entertaining. So you're feeding into it. You're letting these people know, keep doing this, keep putting this content out there, and keep playing up this negative stereotype that we have of black people. And then we wonder why our interpersonal relationships are so fractured and fucked up. Because we're trying to live through these other people, vicariously through these other people. We're trying to take on all these other ideals that do not match up with the lives that we are actually living. Snoop Dogg saying bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks doesn't mean us in the UK, black men in the UK are supposed to take that on and live that kind of mantra. We're not Snoop Dogg. We're not Dr. Dre. We're not these people that live over there that are going through the shit that they're going through. But black men in the UK, black men, black teenagers want to emulate this life. want to treat women the way that these men are treating their women. And then this snowballs and snowballs and snowballs until it becomes a common thing. There's pushback. The women react. They push back. They start saying just as salacious things as the men are saying. That gets taken on as some sort of mantra for the people that are lower down. And we wonder why things are fucked up. we wonder why things are fucked up. We wonder why. Going back to this clubhouse room. Interesting thing that this guy said. So he was talking about women not needing men. And then the other thing he was saying, we need to be holding people accountable for, the people accountable that, when they see a bad situation going on in the street where a woman is being roughed up by a man, there's women that turn around and say to the men, don't get involved, that's none of your business. I had to say to the guy, is that something that would stop you from getting involved? No. Why are you bringing it up then? Well, it happens. People say that. So what you're going to be led by? You're going to be led by that. You're going to let abuse happen. You're going to let something that you know is wrong happen because other people are telling you don't get involved. That's not like, and you don't see that as a problem. No, I'm not saying it as like it's a right or wrong. It's just an information piece. What? This is the argument that I'm having with this guy. Well, what do you think the problem is? Lack of accountability, cognitive dissonance. That's the problem. Well, how do we solve it? Stop being cognitively dissonant. Hold people accountable. Hold your men accountable. Hold your women accountable. Coming into the discussion and saying, people say don't get involved and that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why I find myself in the situation that I am in, because there's too much cognitive dissonance going about. There's too much lack of accountability going about. I had to tell this guy, look, I don't move with men that do that. I don't move with with people that just abuse and expect me to go along with it and not tell them that they're being fucking dickheads. I don't move with people like that. Good for you. No, not good for me. Not good for me. Because if I find the majority of the men around me are like that, then there's a problem. That is the lack of accountability. This and if women are acting like this and no, abuse is wrong. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Abuse is wrong. Abuse is wrong. I went through this. Yeah, so did I. Does that mean that we should carry it on and pass that abuse elsewhere? And then we had to get into semantics. Well, the room says respect, protection, and respect are two different things. My point is, if you don't respect women, how do you ever feel you're going to be at the point of wanting to protect them? And then if the women don't respect the men, how are we really going to look at them and be like, no, you should lead us, you should respect us, if we're not showing them the same respect back? This is the same cognitive dissonance that I'm talking about. Everything has conditions. And if it doesn't have conditions, or if you're the one who's caught on the other side, I don't want to get involved, no, I can't be asked, I don't care if it's not real, I find it entertaining anyway. But the truth is, the truth will affect this and that and Nah, you can't talk about this because it'll look bad on me and . You know what I say to all of that now? Having regretfully going through a period of questioning all of that for myself. You know what I say to all of this bollocks? Fuck is. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Abuse is wrong. Mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong straight off. Doesn't matter where it's coming from, doesn't matter who it's coming from. It is wrong. And if you're going to play up to that, if you're going to appease that, do you know what I mean? Then you're wrong. Racism is wrong. Prejudice is wrong, no matter where it comes from. And if you're going to make excuses for that, then you are wrong. You are part of the problem. Social media is a lie. Social media is a lie. But if you're going to use social media as a way to shape your outlook on the world, if you're going to use people that are in higher positions than you, living lives that you do not live, if you're going to use their mantras, their fucking bullshit, and trying to apply it to your life when it cannot work that way, you don't have the rich opportunities that they have. You don't have the options and the get out clauses that they have. You're going to take it on as some sort of mantra for yourself. You're going to use that to shape your outlook on the world. Even though the world that you are living in is very different, the real life world that you're living in is very different, then you are wrong. And you are part of the problem. Because me, I'm just a guy that likes to make music and has some opinions on things. I am not the be-all or the end-all. I am not anyone that you should take on as some sort of mantra for your own life, because my life is completely different to yours. And a 1-hour video is not going to give you all that you need to truly know me as a person. I should not be put on any kind of pedestal, and we should not be putting anyone in social media on any kind of pedestal. That's certainly not what I'm here for. And I've had to start checking a lot of fucking people that call themselves fans, that call themselves supporters, that try and use these parasocial relationships that they built up with these social media figures as some sort of way to say that you know me in some sort of way, you know my life in some sort of way, and you have anything to say on my life in some sort of way. You can come and comment on the video, you can critique the video. That's what you should do. Question everything, even question me. Even question me. That's the point. That's the point of all of this. Be real with yourself, so then you can be real with everyone and everything around you. And if you know something is wrong, don't play into it, don't feed into it. Fuck it off. And if you know something is right and might be able to help somebody else, give that out. Give that information out. Give that help out. That's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I don't expect anything in return for any of this. But ultimately, be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Expect the things that you would give out the respect that you would want for yourself. Give out the consideration that you would want for yourself. Take the time to step back, think about a situation, maybe put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Maybe just be real about the mistakes that you've made, the things where you've fucked up. Be real. No one's willing to be real. Everyone just wants to be popular. But we need more people just being fucking real right now. Real. So I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop doing these videos. I'm not going to stop being my true self, as many people have tried to stop me from doing, because they don't like it. It upsets them. It makes them feel bad. Fuck is. We need more people being real. Being true to who they are. Being true to their identity. Not using superficial bollocks to try and manipulate people to be this, that. No. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. And I'm not going to hold myself back anymore. I'm not going to hold myself back anymore. I'm not going to question myself anymore. I'm not going to second guess myself anymore. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to put out the videos that I want to put out. I'm going to put out the truth. Not my truth. Not a truth. The truth. So with that, if you've made it this far, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I hope so if this makes sense, even though I'm just talking about my experiences. But I hope some of this makes sense. Take it easy. And sincerely, blessings to you all.